UWWsports.com. Experience national championship level college football this Saturday when the Warhawks welcome in the Eagles. Kickoff at 1 p.m. Buy your tickets at UWWsports.com. Warhawk football, powered by tradition.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time for the best 60 minutes of your life. This is the Homer Hour, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, alongside former Packer Brian Bulaga. Here's Emmy Award winner Homer.
The best 60 minutes of your day, the Brian Bulaga Homer Hour. Rob Demoski will also be on. I might not say anything. Just let him talk. I have to do a little more research, but everybody should know the Packers lost that game. The Packers did not hit a game-tying field goal. The game should have ended after that last incomplete pass. The Green Bay Packers are the luckiest team in the NFL by far. I don't know who's running the clock for Dallas or whatever, but they lost the game. So everybody knows the Packers lost the game. And by a gift from whomever, they were allowed to kick the field goal and tie the game. And imagine the discussion we'd be having today if they had failed to get that field goal. And they did. They just got a break. Joining us now is Brian Bulaga. Good afternoon, Brian.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I don't ask. I even have to ask you to join the club. This is one situation where I don't care if anybody joins the club. But I'm just shocked that the game wasn't called over. But Packers lucky, and so. But now you can pick whatever you want to lead with, given all the different opportunities available.
Yeah, I mean, I think, maybe I'm being Captain Obvious here, but I think the thing that shocks me, and it probably shocks everyone listening, it probably shocks everyone that watched it, was the amount of points given up by the defense and the fashion, right? I mean, I think the open receivers, the amount of rushing yards, kind of the way that Dallas moved the ball up and down the field, the big plays, that's not something we've seen yet up to this point from our defense. I mean, Dak really wasn't under too much duress, and he had, it seemed like he had quite a bit of time in the pocket. It was just things like that we weren't used to seeing from this defense up to this point, and we saw a lot of it. And to me, that's really what caught me by surprise last night. And I'm not going to sit here and say, it's a one-off. I'm going to ignore it, because you can't ignore it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't sit here and say, like, I got to just get that out of my memory bank. I can't. You have to take into account. And I get, 7 of those points were a gift from our offense, a sacked fumble inside the 10. Like, I get it, right? Like, that's a gift. So, you look at that, but you can't discount that 33 points from our defense given up, 31, because 2 of the 2 points from a blocked that bothers me even more, because now that's 2 weeks in a row now, and I'm looking, and the last one should have been blocked too. The last kick should have been blocked too.
Explain.
If you watch the last field goal that tied the game, if you slow that down, that probably was an inch from being blocked. The guy's hand probably was almost on the ball. So they have some major issues in field goal protection. Bisaccia has some major personnel issues on where he's lining guys up, who's playing what positions there, because it is a absolute disaster of where these guys are lined up right now on field goal protection. And like, I don't ever remember, like, listen, things happen from time to time. A field goal gets blocked. Okay. Like, got it. Like, okay. So, I mean, it's happened. I've been a part of one. Like, it happens. You watch it, you fix it. Okay. Not happening again. It happened in Cleveland. Okay. We fix it. It does. You don't turn around and now it happens again right off the get. And then it's ridiculous. And then I'm telling you, if like you go back and watch that last field goal, I was watching it and I thought that it was getting blocked. And so Bisaccia's got to switch personnel around it. And what I mean by that is he's got tight ends playing the wing positions. And those are the most out guys on field goal protection, the widest guys on field goal protection. When we were there,
cornerbacks,
Zook, he put myself and Julius or Mercedes Lewis as those guys.
Really?
And he did that because the biggest thing that Mason hated guys at his feet. So the biggest thing was, and what we're always was most vulnerable was guys jumping through that gap from where the wingers were through that C gap. And because guys get too occupied trying to block the outside guy, then they lean too far, then they jump through that gap. Well, if you put a giant guy at the wing,
there's no room.
There's no room to jump. And then the arm span to put a hand on the guy that tries to go around the edge, it's too wide. The arc's too wide. He'll never get there. Well, now you're putting smaller body tight ends there that aren't strong enough to hold up a guy trying to jump through and lean and reach. So, like, guys are it's a floodgate. It's an absolute floodgate. So he's got to look at personnel and how he's lining bodies up here and redo it.
Excuse me, sir, I have a question. How, given his experience in that field, shouldn't he have already known that?
It might have been a way that he's done it forever, right? Like he's done it this way, right? Like in this, and like special teams coaches are this way, right? Like when Zook came to Green Bay, he had done it a certain way, right? Like when he got there, he wanted to put all the linemen only in line positions, and like we looked at him like, no. Like I'm not, like we're going here. Then Mason had to tell him like, no, they go here. Like, so like we had to kind of like talk to him about certain, like, you know, like how things were. And then McCarthy co-signed it. And like, you know, there were certain things that, you know, had to work its way through it. Campy co-signed it, our O-line coach. So like there were certain things that had to kind of work its way through. So he just has to go and look at that, because like getting these kicks blocked is ridiculous. Like this is ridiculous. We have a kicker that can hit 60-yard field goals, no problem. You can't have these things get blocked. But like back to what I was getting at, like I just, the defense was the shock to me, and it just seemed as if they, like George Pickens was like wide open at times. Like, I mean, like oddly wide open.
Weren't they often in all those were in zone situations? There was one play, kind of the defensive back for the Packers backed up like 20 yards.
Yes. Like, and they were picking on Valentine.
Yeah, I think it was Valentine who did that. There's no, and the Pickens was able to get the first down. There was absolutely no chance that Valentine could get there in time from how far he backed up.
Yeah. Like it was, he sat down in a hole there was nobody around him for like 20 yards. It seemed like,
right.
And it was just a very odd, like plays that were happening. Like guys just like wide open. Like it was just like stuff that we hadn't seen before, right? Like it was just not used to it. So like, to me, that's what caught me very off guard last night watching the game. And And I'm not going to sit here and like panic about it and be like, oh my gosh, they can't fix this. But like, I'm certainly not going to count it as a one-off. Like, I'm not going to be like, you know, that it can't happen again, because it can happen again, right? Like they've put it on tape. It can happen again. They need to work to correct it, right? And the thing that I also noticed, they didn't move Micah around at all. Micah stayed on the edges the whole time in pass rush situations, which I thought was very odd, right? Like I thought it was odd that Micah stayed on edges in pass rush situations, and Dallas planned for that. Like they had a plan for that, very specifically with tight ends and running backs and guards holding space for quite a while, so tackles didn't get beat inside quick, and making Micah run outside and try to beat tackles upfield. So like they had a plan for that. So like the fact that they didn't move Micah to inside positions and have him roam inside and kind of be that type of rusher where he could, be kind of like that rover type rusher where he got to pick and choose his gaps. I was a little surprised by that, where you had to ID him, and the line had to slide to wherever he was, and then he got to choose and wrap around gap. Like I was a little surprised by that, because they had shown that in the first few weeks, and the fact they didn't go back to it was a head scratcher to me. And even so, they were running the ball. And if he's one of our, listen, you could say what you want about him in the run game. I want him against the run. He's physical. He plays the point of attack really well. So if you put him somewhere in the middle of the defense, he's going to stick his nose in there and play the run. So, hey, if you get caught out and you're running that type of package and he's roving around in the middle of the defense and they run the ball, that's okay. I don't mind him there in the middle of the defense with that. That's fine. I'll take him there with a running back or against a guard. That's fine. I'm okay with that, because he's faster than the guard. He'll probably slip the guard. Like it's not a big deal. So like that's why I was a little surprised by that. Dallas was playing for it. They moved the pocket away from him. They did a lot of things to counter where he was on the field, and I would too. I would too if I know he's on the other side of the ball. So it's a learning experience, but like 40-40, you walk out of there with a draw. Like I felt like I watched a soccer match, like a 4-4 draw. Like that's what I watched, a 4-4 draw, and I stayed up till midnight doing it.
That is Brian Bulaga, and I have only one question. If you have changed, Pebble, could we have an earlier Brian Bulaga this season?
I'm stoked for the way that they play.
Stoked, yeah.
I'm stoked with the way they play.
And now, the question. At 5:12, with Rob Domowski coming up soon, is Brian Bulaga still stoked about this Green Bay Packer team?
Is that question still right now?
It is as of right now. Yes, this moment. We know that you said it a while back. I said the division was over, and I said when Jason called last night, I said I'm wrong. I'll admit it. I never anticipated any game in which the defense could be so bad that I question who's going to win the division. And in fact, right now, I am so impressed by how quickly Detroit has returned and solved all their problems. I would say they're probably the favorite. And I'll admit I was wrong. I never thought I'd have to change my mind, because I never thought it possible.
Yeah, I mean, now, was I stoked about the way they played the last 2 weeks? No, I'm not stoked about that. Am I still stoked about this team and what they can become? Yeah, I still think they could be very, very good.
I was worried.
I still think they could be very, very good. I mean, I'm not stoked about the way they played the last 2 weeks.
Let me add as a follow-up, what you've said so far, and I'm curious, you have done a great deal of time focusing on the coaching as to what occurred.
Yep.
Thus, you must believe that those coaching problems can be solved. I want to be on record on this show, as I said afterwards. I'm firing Bellaccia, or what's the special teams
Rich
coach?
Bisaccia.
And then Jason said, well, they're not going to because he's an important part. He's the associate head coach. I said, fine. He can stay as the associate head coach. He ain't coaching special teams. I can find 50 people in this country today qualified to be a special teams coach in the NFL, either because they've done it in the past or they're a football coach. And I don't know how anybody can have any confidence, as you alluded to, when things go bad, that happens. When players continually screw up, at some point I say it ain't on the players because they're not getting the proper direction because they can't be that bad. We've seen them do other things, and they just didn't suck at everything or they would have gotten cut. You have a bye week, perfect time to hire somebody, let him stay as the associate head coach. Somebody else has to be put in charge of the special teams because it is reasonable to say it's going to happen again. I don't know what it will be, but if it can be as bad as quickly after the first time, I can't imagine. You played football. Can you imagine what your coach would have been like in whatever position if you had done what occurred against Detroit?
Oh, I mean, if you listen, and I'm gonna keep it right on the topic of the field goals being blocked like that. Like, I can't, like, getting field goals blocked like that quick. Like, those are like back to back. Like, those are like back to back, almost blocked field goals. Like,
Right.
that's like
and
what
the
that
extra
is.
point. It was almost as if no one blocked him. He just kind of walked right in, and he, usually you have to dive or and they get their hands out. Like it looked like a bad high school kick.
Yeah, like there's it's a like that's a what's happening there is like guys are getting put in those spots that like, and field goals it's a rough gig. Like you're you got D linemen just like literally trying to just run you over, and you're getting put in compromised positions, and it's really a blanking bad job. Like it is. It's a bad job. But like you got to have the certain personnel in there to do it, like and have them placed right, and like based on what we're seeing, like guys aren't in the right spots to be doing it. Like they just aren't right now. And like again, like the one blocked, and then the last kick of the game, like you saw McManus come off. Like he shied away because the guy was like literally he pulled off the kick because it almost got blocked. I'm telling you, if you look at the last kick, McManus pulled off of it because it almost got blocked. It was just a chip shot. That's how he didn't need to put everything through it, but it almost got blocked. If you look at how it's a floodgate on the left side. So like there's a problem with protection right now. And like, I know Bisaccia is going to look at it, but it's more than just looking at it and telling them on the field. You got to make personnel changes with who's playing what positions. And like that's putting bigger bodies in certain positions. You got to do it.
Next up, Rob Demoski. Can't wait. 5:30. All right, we'll get to him soon. More with Brian Bulaga. I know he's got more. Next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, northbound on 41. We've got a crash right at the ramp from Capitol Drive. It's off on the right shoulder, so watch out for that. Delays are coming up from Mayfair Road all the way up to Capitol. Southbound, you got backups from just south of Main Street all the way to Good Hope Road, back on the brakes from Appleton Avenue down towards Capitol Drive. And then we've got eastbound 94 backing up from 84th Street to 35th. Westbound slow from about 20th all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. More delays from the zoo heading in towards Waukesha County past Elm Grove Road. Traffic is brought to you by Morningstar Golfers Club. Tee it up at Morningstar Golfers Club. Championship greens, breathtaking views, and a golf experience you won't forget. Book your tee time today at golfthestar.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Mainly clear, a low of 60 at the lakefront, 56 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and beautiful. A high of 73 at the lake, 80 inland. Weather is brought to you by The Pickler, Menominee Falls. Try all-night indoor courts with unlimited play for 30 days, just $30. Start your trial at thepickler.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Why Z-Bart? Because you don't want rust holes in your expensive vehicle. Let Z-Bart keep the rust away with professional rust protection. Only at Z-Bart.
Well, everybody's got an opinion, and that especially the case after the Packers' 40-40 tie with the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, leaving Green Bay at 2-1-1 entering their bye week. Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher on Wilde and Tausch Monday.
I couldn't believe what I was watching, and even as the game was unfolding, had we won, I legit was going to feel sick.
It was certainly a weird one, but the good news for Green Bay is they'll get a full week off before they try to recalibrate to take on the Cincinnati Bengals in Week 6. I'm Alex Stroh.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Why Z-Bart? Because cars, trucks, and SUVs still rust. They do. Just look around the parking lot. Well, it doesn't have to happen, people. Google Z-Bart rust protection, call Z-Bart, and keep your car rust-free.
Sundays are for football and carbless. Born in Wisconsin, carbless handcrafted premium cocktails are packed with flavor, not sugar. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and gluten-free. Whether you're tailgating in Green Bay or calling the plays from your couch, carbless is the cocktail that's always game day ready. Crisp, clean, and crafted to win. This season, drink like a champion. Drink carbless, a proud partner of the Green Bay Packers.
Looking to heat up a career in HVAC? Dick & Trough Heating and Cooling in Milwaukee is now hiring HVAC installers and service technicians. Family owned and operated, Dick & Trough offers competitive wages, a 401k match, health insurance benefits, and a winning, positive team culture that sets them apart. This is more than a job. It's a chance to grow with a company that truly values its people. Apply now to become their newest team member at dickandtrough.com. Dick & Trough Heating and Cooling. Come see the difference. Apply at dickandtrough.com.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
This is the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Win or lose, the doctor of football, Brian Bulaga, has a great partner.
That's right. I'm here for my friends at Surfside, and football season is back, and we're bringing you your tailgate must-have. There's nothing more refreshing than a nice cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your home team. Made with real vodka and real brew tea, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Why so easy to sip and enjoy? Because there's so many great flavors. Mine, the half tea, half lemonade, peach tea, raspberry, and so many more. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Ask for it at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
So many questions for the doctor of football, but Mo in Illinois is on the phone line. We'll have Rob Domowski in a couple minutes. Mo, you are on with Brian Bulaga. Let her fly.
So, I've heard a lot of the radio shows today across ESPN Wisconsin, and, a lot of people are, getting rightfully deserve criticism, but I just feel like, a lot of people are just kind of playing patty cake, and we're kind of scared to admit the harsh reality right now. And the harsh reality is that we have the worst head coach in the NFC North. We have the worst special teams unit in the NFL. This defense is not what we thought it would be. Our secondary, in particular, Nate Hobbs yesterday looked cooked. He belongs in a nursery home after that performance. Our depth there sucks. So, honestly, when we look at this team, why are we really all that surprised? Yeah, they had a great first 2 games. But you look at the utter debacle that they're putting out there on the special teams unit, led by the embezzling Rich Bisaccia, who's stealing all this money to not even, come up with a easy way to teach his unit fundamentals to block the inside guy. How are we really all that surprised? This team is not going to win the division. Homer, you got so excited so quickly, and I told you, settle your horses, because it's too early for that. And now you're seeing what I'm talking about. Could we just all, take it easy and not crown this team so early next time?
Homer. Homer's got audio.
No, I'm good now. Sorry. That was my mistake.
Okay.
Would you like to respond to that, please?
No, I'll respond. I mean, listen, I think you brought up a lot. Listen, you brought up a lot of good points, and the thing that, and I'll start off with what I thought was a big issue was the secondary, and this is something we talked about a lot going into the season, was the secondary, and obviously they played well to start the season, but what comes with the secondary is a pass rush, and when the pass rush doesn't get home, a secondary always gets exposed. Things always don't look good, and we did not have a pass rush last night. And that was a big issue with what we saw, right? I mean, I think you look up and down the board. I mean, I don't know if I can count how many times we even hit Dak Prescott. He wasn't affected that much. I mean, Micah got sacked him there in overtime to save the game, or not let him in for a touchdown. But besides that, he wasn't really bothered. He had a lot of time in the pocket. Found receivers deep down the field, which we hadn't seen in the first 2 weeks. So those DBs were able to be aggressive in the first 2 weeks because pass rush was getting home in 2 seconds. So there's a difference in that too, but I understand the point. I'm not sure about the head coach. I'm not I think it's a good head coach division. I mean, I'm not sold on Ben Johnson either. I think the guy's a little weird, man. He's a little quirky to me. I don't know. I'm not there.
By the way, if he loses, he's weird. If he wins, he'll be quirky. I'll just give you a heads up on that.
I mean, he's both to me.
Okay.
He's both to me.
You never had. I don't think there were weird, quirky coaches when you were playing. Am I right? Not just there. I don't. Maybe Jerry Glanville was or something.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was gonna do something or say something really mean to that sideline reporter at halftime when she asked him the question. He looked like he was gonna freak out on her. Just really weird stuff. Really oddball behavior. I mean, so I don't know about him.
Who committed the most oddball behavior? You don't have to give the specifics. What coach that you had in your playing career at any level did what you at the time thought was oddball behavior, or the most oddball behavior? I don't know what they did, but just
really weird behavior.
I mean, Ferentz never did. Ferentz never has he, other than taking care of his kids so much. But even that's not oddball behavior. I don't think he's ever done oddball behavior in his life.
No.
Yeah.
No, dude, listen, the Iowa staff was about as straight-lined as you could. There was no odd behavior of the Iowa staff. It was straight and narrow, very straight and narrow in Iowa football. I'm just trying to think. I just didn't.
All right, never happened. If it happened, you would remember it. All right, sugar-free. Sugar-free. You're on with Brian Bulaga. Let her fly.
Well, I'm going to crown them. They're winning this division. I mean, Detroit's schedule, I can't wait till they start losing, man. And
their schedule is tough.
11.
Yes.
11-2. Green Bay is going 11-2 the rest of the way. I guarantee it. So
whatever you want to bet,
buddy.
Whatever you want to bet. You say 11-2. I say they win fewer than 11 games. Whatever you want to bet.
Yeah. Go to the casino, dude. I'm going to the casino, rebetting on them.
You can get great odds for 11-2. This is the time. I would give you that. Tell me what odds you can get on them going 11-2 the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Bet $1, win $1 million.
I'm telling you, that was an anomaly, that game, the defense, because I guarantee the rest of the way, this is a dominant defense. They're going to get their butts together. This is a learning experience.
What happened?
The coaching staff. What do you mean what happened?
Just answer what happened.
It was a pressure game on their number one player on their team. The number one player on the defense, at least, is Micah. And there's a lot of pressure there, and that's what happened.
All right. Hold on,
Brian.
Are you buying sugar-free on why it happened or what happened? What do you think?
I mean, I think there was a lot of hype around it, and again, I mentioned it to begin. I don't think they utilized them like they normally utilized them. Like, that was what I found very odd, that he didn't stand up. He wasn't in the middle of the defense. He was only in the defensive end position the entire game, which I thought was odd. It just seemed like he wasn't utilized like he normally is. He didn't run many stunts or twists. Like, he was just rushing normal off the edge, and that was like perfect for Dallas. I don't know. Like, it just seemed maybe there was a lot made out of the game, obviously, for him, and maybe guys were talking about it too much from that standpoint. Doesn't excuse their performance by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm hoping it's a one-off, but it doesn't mean I can't forget and think it can't happen again. I mean, it could happen again. But I'm hoping that you watch it, you learn from it, and you hopefully take a harsh lesson from it and move on, right? And unfortunately, it's a tough lesson because it's a division or a conference opponent, and you don't get a win in conference. That's the hard part about that, right? It's a conference opponent that you want to put that one in the W column, and you don't get to.
Rob Demovsky is next. The cot is ready.
The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Northbound 41 at Capitol Drive, we do have the right shoulder blocked with a crash. So that's going to be slowing things down just a bit coming up from Mayfair Road. Keep that in mind. Southbound, we actually have our usual delays coming in from just about at the county line or just before Bradley Road all the way to Good Hope Road. Back on the brakes from Appleton Avenue down to Capitol Drive. We've also got on westbound 94 backups from about 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Back on the brakes right around Highway 100 to the county line. Couple broken down vehicles here and there. And then at Moreland Road, we do have a crash on the left shoulder. So watch out for that as well. The southbound 43 is backed up from Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mainly clear skies, a low of 60 at the lake, 56 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and beautiful, a high of 73 at the lake, 80 inland. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Wisconsin sports fans, Brian Balaga here from my friends at Surfside. Football season is back, and we're bringing you your tailgate must-have. There's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your home team. Made with real vodka and real brewed tea, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer. It's Surfside. Ask for it at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Hi, I'm Jim Frucci, Managing Partner and PGA Professional at Morningstar Golfers Club, and I'd like to personally invite you to play your next round of golf at Morningstar. Lush green fairways, velvet smooth greens, magnificent vistas from high above our championship golf course. Morningstar was created with the serious golfer in mind, and it continues to be the public course by which all other area public courses are measured. Book your tee time today and reserve a spot on our membership wait list. Come out and see what all of Southeast Wisconsin's been talking about. Hey, you played the rest. Now play the best.
Hey, it's John McGivern here. You know I love Network Health. One of the reasons is that they're local and they understand how important that is. Their exceptional customer service isn't just words on a page. It's what they do. It's what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your right. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber's offices. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
It's a bird bash at Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to $50,000 cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card this October for a chance to win. Wouldn't you like to rake in a huge pile of cash? Bird Bash, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info at potawatomi.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Rob Demoski and the Doctor of Football, Brian Bulaga. Oh, baby, this is good. I go to the cot, and the Doctor of Football, Brian Bulaga, introduces him because he's nice.
Rob, good evening. How are you?
I'm good, Brian. How are you?
I'm good. You back from Dallas?
Yeah, got back about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Little flight through Chicago, and got back to the hotel about 2:30. Got up at about 7, so it was a short night, as these road night games are.
Yep, I hear you. So, what'd you make of the last 10 minutes of that game? What was your thoughts on those last 10 minutes?
Yeah, I mean the overtimes. Look, I want to start by asking you this: like, do you like the fact that the Packers decided to go second in overtime? Like, I mean, I thought about that, and I'm not sure what I would do.
I don't like that. I wish they would have taken the ball first.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
Can I mention one thing to both of you?
Yep. Yeah.
All right. When you take the ball second, you have 4 downs instead of 3.
Yes. No.
The Packers lose the game.
Yeah.
If they get the ball first, because they're not going to go for it 4th and 6th on the 24. So I'll be Mr. Analytics. There is no way you should go first, given the incredible benefit.
Right, and that is the obvious benefit. However, two things struck me. What happens if the team that takes the ball first goes on a 9.5-minute drive and you only have 30 seconds left, right? And I mean, that's a real possibility. I mean, we've seen 8-9-minute drives before. The other thing too is if both teams quickly go 3 and out, the team that's third up, which was the team that went first, it's sudden death at that point. Now now you win the game, with any kind of a score. So it's an interesting. I'm sure you're right, Homer. The extra play is the most important.
But you make 2 very good points. There are certain games and certain situations, which doesn't seem to be something LaFleur cares much about, a situation where going first might make sense for the reasons that you gave.
Yeah, but ultimately, I mean, a tie always feels like a loss to me. I don't know why. Now, maybe I shouldn't feel that way because in 2013, you guys won the division at 8-7-1, right, with a tie that year. So maybe it shouldn't feel like a loss. But, I mean, that last pass, really the last 25 seconds or so, I thought was a complete meltdown, even though they ended up getting away with the tie. If that pass is tipped up in the air just a little bit more, time runs out, and it's one of the worst blunders that you could have to end a game. A little bit like Dallas in that playoff game where they couldn't get the clock stopped and ran out of time. So it's hard to put it all into perspective.
What did Jordan say about that? About that last 25 seconds?
Yeah, he said that they didn't communicate very well, right? I mean, and that was obvious. In the helmet, and I don't know if you guys use this term. I had not heard this term before last night. In the helmet, LaFleur is saying it's an O zone, meaning out of bounds or the end zone. Those are the two. Those are the two things that have to happen there. And obviously, here's the thing on the first play gets blown up. They lose 3 yards. And then he completes the short one to Emmanuel Wilson. I mean, I'm trying to think of the order, but
yes, that's the order. You got it right.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, the Emmanuel Wilson play, you're better off just dirting that thing because he allows you to get some time and get organized because that play was going nowhere, absolutely nowhere. I mean, they practice these scenarios over and over and over and over again. I mean, every single day, the end of training camp is 2 minute, and there's various situations, and it struck me as a team that panicked and didn't have it well organized, and that's why it ended up sort of chaotic like it did.
Because it surprised me, regardless of you could say I know Matt said it, and obviously Jordan said it. I didn't understand the linemen walking up to the ball.
Yeah.
It seemed like everyone was very just nonchalant about it. And I'm sitting here watching it going, you could have ran a play by now.
Yeah.
In all honesty,
I thought the same thing live, and I thought the same thing rewatching it. I thought exactly the same thing that this was not handled the right way at all. And that has to be, that has to come from the head coach. It has to come from whoever's in the head coach's ear, whether it's the offensive coordinator or quarterback's coach or whoever. They've got to streamline that somehow, some way, because that can't happen.
Well, I mean, and again, like we can talk about Matt with this, right? I mean, and I kind of said this on KBN, and that's okay. But I just put myself in how many 2-minute situations I was in with Aaron. And I just know in that situation, he is absolutely screaming at the offensive line to get to the ball because he needs every single second to make route adjustments to see that defense so he can snap the ball and get off a good play.
No, I think you're right. That's,
you know what I'm saying?
Totally. And part of that too, maybe is on, the couple of veteran guys that were on the offensive line, especially Elton, getting some urgency. But look, Elton's new at center, right? Like this is new for Elton as well. So, I mean, we've spent a lot of time in the last month talking about that. And that may be another case where having a more experienced center, who's basically the second quarterback of the offense, maybe that comes into play as well.
What from the defensive side of the ball? What was kind of the message of what they thought what happened that was different than what we saw these first 3 weeks? What do they think collapsed on their half that we hadn't even seen a glimpse of that in the first 3 weeks? I mean, this was a completely different side than what they showed the first 3 weeks. I mean, this was like Jekyll and Hyde, right? I mean, this wasn't even close to the defense that we saw the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was almost like whatever call that the defense had on, the offense had the perfect counter to it. Like that seemed to be, it's not like they called different stuff. It's just they called it at the wrong times, and that's part of this game and play calling, and especially on the defensive side of the ball. You're a little bit of a guessing game at times. And like there were times where, we saw those simulated pressures that they were getting home with or getting really successful with early in the year, with the two inside linebackers, either fake blitzing or dropping back. And that didn't fool anybody, right? Like that they picked that up pretty well. And I mean, the Cowboys had injuries on the offensive line too now. Like and they managed to come up with a pretty good protection plan. The other thing too, I think you got to give Dak a lot of credit because they actually got to him. They didn't hit him a lot. I think they only hit him 5 times, but they got pressure a dozen or so times, and he picked it apart. I mean, that's just the bottom line. The only time he was like, I want to say he was like 10 for 11 on the 12 pressures that they had, and the one was just a sack, which was kind of a running play, really, a sack for no gain on Micah's sack. But like he just handled it. Like Micah was poised. Dak was poised and just picked him apart. I think he deserves a lot of credit for that. And their record isn't very good, but the games I watched in Dallas early in the year, I thought Dak has played well and certainly played even better last night.
Yeah, I thought he played well. I mean, the thing that shocked me too was the way Dallas's ground game worked.
Yeah,
like it kept us off balance enough. Yeah.
The other thing too that they did, Brian, I thought they caught some tough contested catches. Like really did. Like the one I didn't get a chance to I didn't see Keyshawn Nixon in the locker room. Now, granted, I was bouncing back and forth between the press conferences and the locker room. Like people, I don't think realize that stuff goes on simultaneously. Like you have to make a choice as a reporter. Do I go to the locker room or do I go to the press conferences? But I would love to ask Keyshawn Nixon what the heck happened on that play where he basically gave up, stopped covering him in the end zone, and it was a little bit of a comebacker. And, I'm sure Keyshawn thought the play was over, and Dak heaves it up there down the right sideline, and it's caught. It was a perfect storm of all those plays that.
Rob, I want to ask you, I've never seen that before. I've never seen a defensive line or defensive back quit. I mean, the ball's not there, and he, unless he slipped or something, he just quit on the play, right? I mean,
I saw a replay. I can't remember if it was the all-22 or whatever, the end zone shot isolated. He didn't slip. I would be willing to bet, without talking to him, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I would be willing to bet he thought the play was over.
It doesn't matter. Let me defer to both of you. You stay with the damn wide receiver.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an end. You know what? It's an end of the game. You're exhausted. How many plays were they on the field for? 75, 80 plays. I'm not excusing it. It's not the right way to go. But I guess I can understand how it might happen.
You don't have to go full speed, or you can walk over there.
Yeah,
you can't.
No, I know. I've never seen anything like it.
Okay, all right. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, no, I've never seen.
I have one other question because I wrote it down when Wyatt got hurt. Prior to Wyatt getting hurt, the Dallas Cowboys had 1 first down in 3 possessions. He gets hurt on the next possession, and I would emphasize. One of those 3 possessions was after the blocked 2 points on the field goal. Dallas got it right after that on the safety or whatever we're going to call it, and went 3 and out. He gets hurt, and they go touchdown, punt, touchdown. 5 of 6 they score a touchdown on.
Yeah, and when you think about it, too, with Wyatt.
Is he that good?
Well, you didn't just lose Wyatt; you lost Kenny Clark. I mean, I know it's been a month since Kenny Clark was gone, but those were your 2 guys, right? Like those were your starting 2 interior defensive linemen. It's no different than losing Aaron Banks and Zach Tom on your offensive line. That's 2 of your better guys.
But they handled the run great through the first 3 games, and then the first 3 series.
Yeah.
Had White been hurt and missed any previous plays prior to this?
No, not this year, no. But okay. I mean, he did get hurt. He did get hurt early last year too, missed some time, and their run defense seemed to be just fine, pretty good last year. The only thing I can say with him is it doesn't look like it's an overly serious injury. He seemed okay after the game, was walking all right. But yeah, I mean he's their. Kenny Clark was their best interior defensive lineman, and Wyatt was number 2, and now they're down both those guys.
Is it possible he was that important in the game, or is it just to some degree coincidence?
No, I think it's a little bit of. I think he's a good player, and he's had a really good start to the year. But I think they just were out of sync, and whatever they called defensively, the Cowboys had the answer for, or had a better call for.
Rob, I got one last question. And just from the first few weeks of having Mike on the defense and how he's been utilized and how he's been moved around, and not just playing defensive end, but how they moved him in the interior of the defense, how he stood up and moved. I didn't really see any of that against Dallas. Is there a reason, or has that not even been brought up? I mean, he didn't really do any of that this week.
No, and in fact, after the game, one of the most interesting comments I thought he had was that he said, "I want to sit down with Hafley." He said, I've talked to him a little bit, short conversations. I feel like I want to say he said he talked to him even right after the game, before he came and talked to us for about 5 or 10 minutes about that kind of thing. It wasn't Micah complaining about his usage or role, but to me it was the start of like, hey, they got to use me more. We've got to do more with me. As politely as you could say it as a player, without coming across as critical of the coaches. I got a sense that he wants to be unleashed a little bit more, and I mean he brought that up. That was not necessarily the question was something about what more can you do now because you've been here a while, and he brought up the conversation that he's had with Hafley, and that he said he wants to spend more time with Hafley, coming up with different ideas.
I hate to say that, but we got to go. Thanks, guys.
All right, boys. We'll be seeing you.
Rob Demoski, Brian Bulaga, the doctor of football. Maybe he's got a minute left. Next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
We have had great offenses around here for a long time. And we've sat there, can the defense be good enough? And we have #fired every coordinator on defense we've seen.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
We don't need no more fire. The hashtag guy is pitched. Jeff Hafley ain't going to get, you're not going to get hashtagged with Haf because he's been an absolute home run hire.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at more than 25 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that's Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Well, everybody's got an opinion, and that especially the case after the Packers' 40-40 tie with the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, leaving Green Bay at 2-1-1. Entering their bye week. Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher on Wilde and Tausch Monday.
I couldn't believe what I was watching, and even as the game was unfolding, had we won, I legit was going to feel sick.
It was certainly a weird one, but the good news for Green Bay is they'll get a full week off before they try to recalibrate to take on the Cincinnati Bengals in Week 6. I'm Alex Stroh.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank.
Concerned about fraud? Tri-City's got your back. Use debit card alerts. Help stop a card hack. You'll get notified when your card's being used so you can prevent your account from abuse. Tri-City National Bank, member FDIC.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Did you know Love was born November 2nd? Did you know Love was raised in Bakersfield, California? Did you know Love played college football at Utah State? Are you looking for lots of Love touchdowns the rest of this football season? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where we love being your one-stop shop for everything alcohol-related. With our selection of over 15,000 varieties of beer, wine, liquor, and mixers, all at the lowest prices in town, Discount Liquor has all your tailgating needs covered. We are your football party beverage headquarters. Discount Liquor, 2 locations, Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
See all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Hi, everyone. This is Stephen Bauer, CEO of the Guest House of Milwaukee. For decades, Guest House of Milwaukee has been here for our neighbors, providing shelter, housing, and the support needed to break the cycle of homelessness. We're not just offering a bed for the night. We're helping people rebuild their lives through case management, housing navigation, mental health, and addiction counseling. You can help us make a difference. Learn more at guesthouseofmilwaukee.org, and together we can ensure everyone has a place to call home.
Right now, more than 100,000 children waiting in foster care need our help. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is focused on finding them safe, permanent homes. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Fisco Auto Body. On Forest Home in Franklin. I don't say that enough. They are so good. And here's why. It's a family business owned since 1931. It's not what they do, it's who they are. And the family's still doing it. Imagine the age at which they start doing this work. And by the time they're doing it for you, they got it nailed. Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin. Expert workmanship guarantee for the life of your vehicle. Any damage, Fisco has you covered. Imagine how long they've been doing it. You'll like them, and then eventually you'll thank me. Fisco, to remember the name. The doctor of football, Brian Bulaga, he is still stoked about the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I am.
There's no way you can have the same confidence level regarding the defense, or maybe you do. My answer to it is, at some point, this defense, to be special, is going to have to use Parsons more, and you alluded to it. We have to mention him. What should you expect? 5 or 6 plays a game, in which it doesn't mean he has to get a sack, but he's altering things.
Yes, and I'm going to put it this way too, and I mentioned it during the game. And my wife, she looks at me. She's like, I don't know why you're talking to me about it. Like, she's like, why are you saying this to me? Because like I'm like, I don't know, because I'm talking.
You want to be on the record, so we can call her and say, what exact time did the doctor say this? Go ahead.
Yeah, because she's like, look at me. Because I mean, I played tackle, and I'm like, what makes me uncomfortable in games, and what makes me comfortable in games, and what makes me comfortable in games as a tackle is seeing the best pass rusher on the sidelines for a long time. And that's what they do with him too often.
All right.
And he needs to be on the field way more, because that makes an offensive line uncomfortable with him being on the field.
He's been on the team long enough now, right? That's what he.
Yes.
If they still stop using him, then I'm going to think he's hurt to some degree, right?
He needs to be on the field like 90% of the snaps. He's ready to go. He's ready to go.
Potawatomi Sportsbook Monday, 6 to 8 p.m. with Gary Ellison and Greg Matzek. Gary Ellis has been telling me, Homer, it's early. And you'd like this, a doctor of football. Steve Young was saying he called the first 4 games of the season the preseason. He says it doesn't really count. You're just figuring things out. Talk to me in November. Maybe he's got a point. Maybe we'll bring him on as a guest. I can use the cot when it's Steve Young and Brian Bulaga. Potawatomi Sportsbook Monday, next.
Well, southbound on 41, still a little bit backed up right around that curve just before Good Hope Road, so keep that in mind.